dear students, welcome back to E-Class of Science. It is our exercise portion of chapter 5. Our first question is, what are the advantages of using CNG and LPG as fuels? What is the CNG and LPG? CNG is the compressed natural gas and the LPG, what is, you know that, the liquid petroleum gas, isn't it? Then the advantages of CNG and LPG as fuel are as follows. First one, CNG and LPG burn easily. They can be burned easily. Next one, CNG and LPG give a lot of heat energy when burned. When they are burned, they will produce high amount of energy. Then CNG and LPG can be transported easily through pipelines. They are very easily transported by pipelines. Then next one, CNG and LPG are clean fuels and they do not release smoke when burned. Then they are CNG and LPG, they are clear fuels, that they are clean. They are not producing so much of smoke. We know that we are using the LPG in our homes, isn't it? Our steel vessels, they are not getting so much smoke on that vessel. This is the example that they are not producing so much smoke when they are burned. Name the petroleum product used for surfacing of roads. What is the petroleum product used for surfacing the roads? It is nothing but bitumen, isn't it? While we have studied about the petroleum, we said that the coal tar is replaced by bitumen, isn't it? Petroleum products which is used for surfacing of road is bitumen. Describe how coal is formed from dead vegetation. What is this process called? Then how this are formed? Dense forest got buried under the soil due to natural processes millions of years ago. More and more soil got deposited over them and they got compressed more. This led them to get exposed to very high temperature and pressure. They slowly got converted into coal under these extreme conditions. Under these extreme conditions, they will be converted to coal, isn't it? Then, the whole process of formation of coal from dead vegetation is known as carbonization. The dead vegetation is converted to coal and this process is known as carbonation. Fill in the blanks. Next is fill in the blanks. Fossil fuels dash. Fossil fuels. Which are the fossil fuels? Coal, petroleum, natural gas. Process of separation of different constituents from petroleum is called refining. We studied the petroleum refining industries are there. These are things we have studied. Least polluting fuel for a vessel is compressed natural gas, CNG. Tick true or false against the following statement. First one, a fossil fuel can be made in the laboratory. Fossil fuel can be made in the laboratory. Is it possible? No, it is false. How these fossil fuels are formed? By the action of millions of years, isn't it? Then CNG is more polluting fuel than petrol. Is that true? No, it is the most clean fuel. So, it is not producing much pollution. Coke is the almost pure form of carbon. That is true. Coal tar is a mixture of various substances. That is also true. Kerosene is not a fossil fuel. Is that true? No. Kerosene also is a petroleum product. So, kerosene is a fossil fuel. So, it is false. Explain why fossil fuels are exhaustible natural resources. The process of formation of fossil fuels requires millions of years. inside the earth requires high temperature and pressure for the formation of fossil fuel, which cannot be done in a laboratory. Thus, fossils are limited. Therefore, the use of fossil fuel at a rapid rate will lead to their exhaustion. While we are studying the portion of fossil fuel and these are things, we have discussed that if we are using the fossil fuels at a rapid rate, then it will goes to the exhausting state. Why? Because fossil fuels are only made with the action of millions of years and they only remain for hundreds of years. So, when we are using very rapidly, then these will be exhausted in a short period. So, we should preserve them. Describe the characteristics and uses of cork. Characteristics. Cork is tough. Cork is porous. We know that corks are carbon that these are porous. Cork is black in color. These are the characteristics. First one, cork is tough, then porous, then black in color. Then uses. What are the uses of cork? In the manufacture of steel, in the extraction of metals. It acts as a reducing agent. Then in the manufacture of steel and for the extraction of metals. Then explain the process of formation of petroleum. Explain the process of formation of petroleum. Petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum. Petrol and diesel are obtained from the natural resource that is known as petroleum. Petroleum was formed from organisms living in the sea. As the organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea and got covered with layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, absence of air, high temperature and high pressure transformed the dead organism into petroleum and natural gas. This is the deposition of petroleum, oil, gas and these are things. Then this is a very small chapter and it is very simple question. Please go through and study well. Write it in your notebook